Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
In terms of civic embrace, our much-anticipated super team hit a new low last night. They were booed in the second quarter of a marquee game at Footprint Center, a game in which they actually took the floor with a sense of urgency. And to be honest, I think we were all booing, from couches to sports bars to all corners of the valley, and not because of this loss to the Thunder, because of that grotesque loss to the Rockets on Saturday, because the Suns are 2-4 since the All-Star break, because they are still suffering from the lack of a true point guard, a lack of leadership, and the lack of endgame assassins, because they are either very poorly coached or unreceptive to coaching, and because Bradley Beal was incredibly stupid on Saturday, KD was incredibly absent in the fourth quarter yesterday, and because one of their big three is hurt again. And in the end, it's because this was supposed to be the greatest season of our lives, and it isn't, all because of that one godforsaken word: expectations. A team that from day one was either championship or bust, and I think we're all fearing the latter right about now. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
I can't give you all that.
What was the tone of the message?
I damn sure can't give you the tone. But it was what we needed at the time. Like he challenged everybody. It was like he punched everybody in the chest. Like that's what it felt like. You know, he gave us a message we needed to hear, and especially like he's our defensive guy, so he takes pride in that. And like, if we're effing up his coverages and not doing what we're supposed to do, he's on 10. So rightfully so, and you see we got good results out of that. So.
It was Bradley Beal last night after an 8-point loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder, which I think you've done a really good job. He was talking about a heated timeout where Frank Vogel kind of lit into the team. And it did have an effect. They got back into a game that they were down by 24. But I think you've done a really good job of illustrating kind of, those two games happened within a 24-hour, 27-hour period of each other. Frustration is the constant, but the ingredients of frustration are different. The squandering of a game against Houston, a team you should beat Saturday, that was hard to get over. Going into last night, knowing that Devin Booker wasn't available, and then there was questions about, hey, is Nurk going to play? Is Royce O'Neal going to play? And you're considering that one of the top teams in the Western Conference was coming in. I didn't expect the Suns to win last night.
No.
Quite honestly.
No.
But
I didn't expect them to come down from being 24 down either.
Yeah, exactly. It was a very uneven effort, but the unevenness led to hope. I mean, you're up 6 points in the fourth quarter. That's a winnable ball game.
Right. And so you can't. So if you could separate this, if the Rockets game never happened, then I really think we'd all feel a little differently. I think even at full strength, it would have been 50-50 of beating Oklahoma City the way they're playing. And I think I think everybody in the Valley who had not seen a minute of Oklahoma City Thunder since their last game against the Suns kind of got a reminder of why Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's in the MVP debate, maybe even a front runner. Because he was that good just insane down the stretch, and that's what we want from our guys. That's what we want from our end game guys. And Kevin Durant, I knew he didn't score. I did not know watching the game, and maybe I should have, that he didn't even assist.
No,
on a bucket.
Well, when the trade went down last year, that was one of the things that was presented to the naysayers of the trade. How do you give up Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson? Look, I know it's Kevin Durant, but no, that was the people that said that was a bad trade. Well, now you got two closers down the stretch, maybe 2.5 or 3 if Chris Paul can come to play. The Suns haven't had a closer this year.
No, they really haven't. It's a great point, and that was really kind of on display last night because you saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander not only get whatever shot he wanted, just made every shot, and he had one turnover
all night.
All night.
But
huge stat line, and there's a 1 in his turnover category.
He and Jalen Williams combined for 19 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Okay.
Jalen Williams is a young
Assassins.
player, but yeah, just
and
confident.
Here's the level of frustration I think Suns fans are feeling. Bradley Beal was hurt in Game 1 of the season. Devin Booker was hurt in Game 2 of the season. Devin Booker returned in Game 6, was hurt again in Game 7. Bradley Beal returned in Game 9. Game 11, Devin Booker returned, and Bradley Beal was hurt the same game. Game 17, Kevin Durant was hurt. 2 nights later, Durant returns, and Booker got hurt. Booker returns in Game 20, but in Game 21, Kevin Durant got hurt. In Game 23, Bradley Beal returned. The next night, Kevin Durant returned. Then in Game 25, Bradley Beal got hurt again. And then in Game 31, Bradley Beal returned. And in Game 32, Kevin Durant got hurt. And then in Game 36, Durant returned. And for a while, from Game 36 to Game 51, just sweet serenity. All three were available. And now we're back on this carousel.
And things went well while they were together.
Yes.
The sweet serenity era of the 2024 Suns.
Right.
It was short-lived,
yes.
but it was nice because they were playing good basketball.
Nice. Yes. And maybe this basketball team will have a happy ending for us. You know, I don't know. I have no idea what to expect from this team. But again, just the collective mood around this team, for them to get booed last night, and why I asked you, because I was not in attendance last night. You could hear it on television. I was curious what it sounded like in person.
It was noticeable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was overwhelming, and that was just my perspective. And again, I'm not hyper focused on all that stuff because I got so much stuff going on down where I'm sitting.
Right, exactly.
Another thing that people pointed out was Jusuf Nurkic just being an absolute force last night. 31 rebounds in 32 minutes of play, a new Suns record for rebounds. But he also came out at a key stretch of the fourth quarter. Nurkic talked about that particular subject after the game.
They're a good team, and they make you work. I thought when we got back and we got a lead, you know, I wish I stayed that few minutes, but you know, just got to trust the coach. And I do trust him, but at the end of the day, you know, it's just felt bad because we could win that game.
Yeah, when Nurkic left the game with 5:47 to go in the fourth quarter, the game was tied. They had already squandered a 6-point lead at that point. Oklahoma City immediately went on an 8-0 run and effectively put the game away.
Who knew Big Nurk was that important, Vinny?
He is that important. He also commented, Nurkic did, and he's part of this too. Wasn't all great for Nurk. He has a turnover issue as well, but he talked about the turnover problems.
I mean, I got 5 of them. A few games ago, I got 7 of them, so I had to be better. And I think from tonight, you know, we saw some players step up, and you know, big emphasis should be, I think, number one going forward for us to be, because we have a power. We have people who can score the ball no matter what. And I think if we don't turn over, we're going to win a lot of games. And we can't be dominate team as we wish, and we can if we're going to turn the ball over. We're just giving too much people to, you know, have advantage of us. And 22 and 31 points, it's hard to come, especially down players, and one of the best players out too, Devin Booker. So you just got to be smart, man. I think our most, you know, turnovers is in a good place, but you just got to find a way. I think that's the biggest thing going forward for the rest of the season, and you know, going to playoffs, you're going to see this team again, and a lot of teams who force you, you know, in playing a fast type of basketball. So we got to be. It's almost better to shoot a bad shot than turnover.
Yeah, and Bradley Beal said, how do you combat the turnover problem? Shoot the ball. Don't overpass it. And normally you would say...
Might be an oversimplification, but again, there's also... I've said this from day one. If I were in charge of this basketball team, I would have really, really tried to put in a fast-paced, 7 seconds or less paradigm, jack up as many as threes as humanly possible.
Yeah, but there was also that stretch where the Suns were, for about 10 games, ridiculously efficient in shooting the basketball. They've been under 50% shooting as a team for 7 straight games.
Ooh.
And a lot of that coincides with Bradley Beal not being out. But you know, they shot 44%. And if you take Beal's percentage out of that, he was 10 for 14 last night. That goes way down. So they're not, when they're not turning the ball over, they're not shooting the ball as well.
And like you
either.
said, KD's in a little bit of a funk right now. I don't know whether this is fatigue. I don't know what else it would be other than fatigue. I mean, it's Kevin freaking Durant.
I hope it's only fatigue.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Murata. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.